I am the one, I am the one. Everybody duck. My pawns on my echo wood, then a loaded gun. I don't need to stun, cause I am the one. I do this for fun, I do this for fun. I am the one.
So look at you bobbing your head and enjoying that song. so, so as we were, that's a very good point that you mentioned the fact that they like if you look at United right now, and
Yeah.
the way I'm looking, Benny will obviously disagree with me, which is fine. He knows his club better than what I do, but United have been so shit this season because, like, in a different era, this is my opinion, they get drawn into that relegation zone, if you know what I mean, Bram. They get drawn into it, but because those other teams don't have the financial backing and they haven't really got the players, unless you're going to have to come in and do a forest and sign about 18 players, that type of thing. It's going to be very difficult for them to get there. But you tell me your thoughts as you were alluding to it just before you ended.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be very difficult for those clubs to attract players. Firstly, I mean, you look at Luton. Luton is struggling in the
Same thing.
EFL. You know, um, maybe if they survived that one season, more finance from from being in the Premier League, they maybe would have been in a better position if they'd gone down the next year. It took them one season, they got relegated. You look at the likes of West Brom. I don't think we'll see them anytime soon. A second Blackburn, a long time to be in contention to come up. Sheffield United, yo up and down, up and down.
Burnley,
But
we can
that's
talk about Burnley last year as
yeah,
well. Burnley as well.
with Burnley and Sheffield United, they always sort of they did what like the Charltons of and Palace of those yesteryears did. Middlesbrough, they were the clubs that could attract the best EFL players to come to them because of Premier League money, and they would also sell on star players, which means they could pay good salaries in that league for 2 or 3 players. One sale of one player to the Premier League, they could buy 3 players, 3 of the best players around, and then get up to the Prem. You know, until Palace said, right, that's it now. Now we concentrate on staying there. Um, when they started getting rejects from this Premier League club and rejects from that club and rejects from here, and then Palace survived, and then from there they once they survive 1 year, these clubs, you know, then they survive. But to survive that 1 year, Southampton is going to be hard for them. Ipswich is going to be hard. My fear is that next season, whoever's going to come up, it's a shame they're going to go back down again.
Can I ask you a question? Because I've seen promoted teams even doing this. They rather, I don't know if you've noticed, but they rather sacrifice their full string players in the Carabao Cup. They don't play them in the Carabao Cup just so that they can get more money in the Premier League in terms of position. If you know what I mean, like a certain position gives you more money than what you're gonna get for winning a Carabao Cup. Because I mean, we haven't seen Wigan since they've won the FA Cup against Man City a few years ago.
Yeah. So what they're doing is they put the money away. They put the money away in case they go down, and then you see them buy the best central attacking midfielder in the EFL, the best centre back. They'll take someone on loan from a Premier League club and cover 50% of the salary. They'll go and get 2 or 3 good young players at the Liverpool or Everton or whatever. There was a 1 year Norwich, half of their team was made up of loanees from Premier League clubs. Ollie Skip was there. They had Conor Gallagher. They had and when they went up, all those players went back to the clubs, and Norwich fell all the way down. But Norwich dominated the EFL that year because they had some experience with some of the best young players at Premier League clubs that were all on loan at Norwich. You know,
Mm. Mm.
um, so it's at Billy Kinley that was at Chelsea. He ended up at Brighton. He was at Norwich that year with Ollie Skip, with Conor Gallagher, with that Norwich had a good side. But I'm just an example I'm making is when these clubs come up, but the Premier League bosses is only worried about the top six. How do we fill their coffers?
Mm.
How
Look,
do
the top
we
six already.
how do we because they're so scared that these clubs are going to move to the Super League. How people speak of
Exactly.
Spurs still being a top six club, I don't know.
You know why? I'll tell you why. Daniel Levy. Revenue.
But
That's
because
why.
you know what
You have
you know what's
Kendrick
funny?
Lamar. Before you have Kendrick Lamar coming to your stadium quite soon as
That's
well.
got nothing to do with
And
points
you
on
have the
points in the
NFL.
Premier League. It's got nothing to do with points in the Premier League. You
Yeah,
understand
but it
another
brings
thing?
money in. But
They
again,
said they
like I'm
said
saying, you asked me why you're in the top six club because you're in the top six
no, no, no,
revenue.
they said Bournemouth have beaten everybody in the top six. They've beaten Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, and Spurs. I'm thinking Spurs. Uh, where do we come into the top six? But
Mm.
whenever you hear them say the top six in England: Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man United, Spurs. How do we how do we get into the conversation? I don't understand because Arcons has been a top six club for a very long time.
But it's because of Daniel Levy.
How long?
You've had this conversation many a time.
How
Money.
long? Listen, have you seen the rumors are rife? Spurs are going to be sold by the end of the season to the Qataris. The
You think
Qataris.
Levy will sell?
It's not for him. This is the conception people had of how strong his influence was in terms of he runs the club. The
He
owners
runs. He runs that club.
the owners are going to sell on one condition: he stays on in some form of capacity. Um, so yeah, look, he's gonna stay on, but the sale of the club can only be a good thing. It can only
I
be a good
agree. I personally agree. Look, I've been at the buzz of where I thought to a point why you guys giving Levy stick? He brought you guys this far. But now I'm at a point of what
no,
more is he? Who
he doesn't see success.
he
He
doesn't
doesn't
see. That's the thing.
see.
Did you see Jamie Carragher's after Sunday's game? Like the post match, what he said, what not Jamie Redknapp, not Jamie Carragher. Jamie Redknapp said when his father was at Spurs, Levy told him, just go and play. Don't worry about winning anything. Just go and play. Just let the guys enjoy themselves. And remember, you guys had a good team that time with Adebayo and Luis Saha up front, Modric, Gareth Bale. But now it actually makes sense as to why all those players left. Like, if I'm a Spurs fan, Bram, and I'm talking solely on that time, you guys had some bad boy players, let's be honest. Like, Modric, world beater, went on to win how many Champions Leagues? Bale, Van der Vaart,
Yeah, look,
Defoe.
um, for me, Dave, honestly,
Although I think you guys spent the Bale money wrong, I personally think, I don't know, I think you guys spent the Bale
yeah,
money wrong with Soldado and
he bought players like Bentaleb, Ericsson,
mm,
Lamela. They weren't bad
Lamela, yeah.
players. As Pochettino showed, they were not bad players. Um, two or three experienced players, and we would have probably ended up winning a trophy.
Mm,
You know, but like you said, he could have taken that money and invested it more. For Daniel Levy, it's just as long as the stadium is full, we qualify for Europe. There's revenue
mm,
coming in. His main thing is I need youngsters so that I can make a profit. Buy them for little, sell them for a lot. Buy them for a little, sell them for a lot.
Do you think that's going to happen with the youngsters like Bergville? Do you think that might happen?
Romero's already gone. Spurs paid what 10 million for Romero. Madrid's gonna offer us
Mm,
55 million. So that in him,
mm,
he's won. He wins. You can question him on this, you can question him on that, but he
mm,
wins. Because he's gonna show you,
mm,
I just made you a 40 million profit that I'm gonna give the next manager. What are you gonna buy at 40 million?
mm.
What are you gonna buy? Are you gonna tie up the Matthias Tell deal? Matthias Tell is probably not going to reach his full potential at Tottenham.
Can I tell you why I think that deal went through? I don't know if you're going to agree with me,
Because
but I
Madrid,
think
because I never finished paying off the Kane money.
exactly what I was about to say. That was exactly what I was about to say. I
As
think
well, the
Bayern
Rocket
told him,
Man,
look here,
he was forced.
uh, I was about to say that because I think
It was a
Bayern
very,
said
very.
to him, "You go ahead."
Yeah, go ahead, you go ahead. Go ahead.
No, no, no. I was thinking in my mind because he just rejected, he just said no, he doesn't want to go there. Went back and then they said, you know what? You're going there until the end of the season because we still owe Spurs money for Kane.
He made no secret when it was said that he's going to go out on loan, where his preferred destination was. He made no secret. He said
Mm.
Manchester United. If
Manchester
not,
United,
I'm
yeah.
going to Arsenal. Only those two clubs. Spurs came
Mm.
to him and he said no. All right? Because Daniel Levy went there. Langer went there. And he said, no, I'm not coming to you.
Mm.
The U-turn was where Bayern didn't even put him in the squad that weekend. He
Mm.
wasn't even in
For
the
the
squad,
weekend, yeah.
right? Bayern phoned um Postecoglou because Postecoglou admitted it. He was surprised to get a call from Bayern to say, "Here's you on the phone. He wants to talk to you." And then he said, "I'm gonna go to Spurs." Because Bayern told him, so here's what we're going to do. You're 19 years old. We're not going to renew your contract. Um, but we're going to sell you just before your contract is up. We're going to sell it to who we want to sell you to. And then we're going to accept their money for you to go. But you're not going to go on a free
Mm.
transfer because we're going to sell you. And your value is going to go down because you're going to sit on the bench here.
Uh, Facts.
So what did he do? He said that I'm going to go for 6 months. And if
Mm.
Bayern says, brilliant, go for 6 months. Well, after that, you can do what you want to, but
Uh,
you're gonna do what we say. And
yeah,
he
look.
turned around and he opted
Oh,
to come to Spurs. Because look, and this is not media talk or anything, this is fact. Kane tried to persuade him and he said he's not interested. That team don't win anything.
mm. But he came out and afterwards and said that Kane convinced him to join Spurs also. Do you think that
Yeah.
was PR?
In any that's PR because any and every Spurs platform that you can get. Kane's words was, I had a chat to him, but he's made up his mind where he's going. He made his mind up he
Mm.
wanted to go to Man United.
Exactly. I thought he was heading for United.
He made his mind up that he was going to go there, and irrespective of United's league position, but it's the same why players go there. United was going to pay him more money than what Spurs was going to. And he was going to be there. He would have been there from a PR and marketing perspective, their big signing. He was going to be their big
Mm.
signing, the biggest signing of the season.
Yeah.
If he was to go there. Whereas at Spurs, he's it's almost like you a plaster over a sore. Go there. You're the band-aid they were looking for. You
Is
know.
Werner injured? Is Werner injured, bro?
Yeah, he's injured. He's part of the injured list, but I think he's off to America, man. I think football has I think they brush shot to pieces mentally.
Supposed
It's
him.
a shame.
No?
It's a shame because the goals that he's missed I don't see any of our other players getting in the positions that he does, but there's just confidence,
Mm.
and his confidence is shattered. Same as like a Garnacho, same as Kai Havertz. The ball
Yeah,
can
I was
only
about to
land
say,
to
nah,
them.
that was the name I was about. I'm
The
glad you
ball
said it
can
before I said it.
only land to them in those positions, and they will miss any other striker. You wish that players were on the end of it.
Agreed.
So
I agree. I agree with that one actually. because I don't know. It's like all these Chelsea players come back broken. But what I want to ask you is, what is your thoughts on the United players thriving since the January, like Rashford and Anthony? Did you see Anthony's T-shirt that he held up now the other night after his volley?
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna send it to you now, actually.
Look, it just
I sent it to
shows
Dre, actually.
the environment at Man United. Sometimes players, and that's where a point alludes to earlier. It would not have been fair on Amaram to bring any of those kids on. Where is he? Look where they're going into a broken team. And if they were part of the team that lost on Sunday,
Check, just check your phone. I sent it to you. But that's why that's what I'm saying is that that's why I wanted Rashford to give him a new lease of life. Because Sterling, even at Chelsea, I didn't know what I was gonna. You didn't know what you're gonna get. Is he gonna contribute GA? You don't know. He's gonna dribble here with his little Scooby Doo hands here on the side. But with Rashford, I know I'm gonna get a solid strike. But check your phone and tell me, what do you think
sure,
of Anthony's jersey?
that's bad. That's deep.
Anthony,
That's
the fact that Anthony is trolling you, my bro.
He tried to ruin my career.
Anthony is thriving. Rashford is thriving. Martial is thriving. McTominay is thriving.
It's a sad state of affairs in Manchester United. Because you know what? It's the same as Spurs. I think United and Spurs in the same boat. They both had Mourinho, and he couldn't turn things around at either of the two clubs. Does it make him a bad
Which
man? Does
which
it make
was
him a
gonna be
bad
my
man?
next question. What was gonna be my next question to you is, I'm not trying to put you on the spot or anything like that, because I also get asked the question, like when I say I'm Arteta out and people ask me, okay, then who you gonna get in? Then I give a name and then they argue against that manager. So in Spurs' case, I'm looking at it like this. You had Conte, you had Mourinho, you had Poch, who you didn't back. And now you went on Nuno, I think, was it?
If you ask me who am I going to take back without a shadow of a doubt, without even Pochettino?
Poch. He's available. Chelsea want him back, bro.
Pochettino. Without a shadow of a doubt. I'd even take Chelsea's manager at Spurs.
Nah, I think he's washed. I think he's out of his depth, Bram.
I don't think he's out of his depth. I just think that the personnel and the quality of the personnel he's got, it's like a Taz that was well looked after, and he paid 95,000 for it, but it's still a Taz. Its value is actually only 30,000.
Okay, but now, Bram.
Doesn't mean that because he paid
Okay.
he can be racing against Golf Sevens 2025 models just because he paid 90 for it. You know, and it's that kind of a thing. Just because he found players that this club paid a lot of money for, it doesn't mean that they've got a
Okay.
squad sustainable to challenge for the Premier
I'm
League.
gonna go. I'm
But
gonna
the man
counter you on
is
that.
the
I'm
man
gonna
is
counter you on that.
the man is in a position to finish in fourth place. I laughed at them. I phoned you one night to say this club is getting relegated after watching their preseason friendly against you. What have they done? They've shut everybody up that doubted them. They still, Devy, they're in a chance to finish fourth. He's exceeded all
Okay.
expectations for that team.
Okay. But for all that money spent, Bram.
He didn't spend it. Doesn't make him a washed out manager. He didn't spend it.
So he didn't sign Sancho.
Or you say he is out of his depth. He didn't spend the money on the players. Todd Bowley bought the players.
So he didn't sign Sancho. He didn't want Sancho. But after he was the one that
No,
came
he's
in,
got
he
Sancho.
was the one that he was
He's
the
got
one that came in
Sancho
and released about 11 players. Why would you release?
because
Okay,
Devy, he's got Sancho.
let's take recent. Let's take recent. Why,
Yeah,
when you have Nicholas Jackson and Gay out, why would you let Felix go? Is that a Bowley decision?
but who brought him there in the first place?
That was him.
I think Chelsea's a little bit different where we'd go horses for courses here, or we would
Sancho,
go circumstantial evidence. Todd Bowley's
Sancho,
eyes left, right, and center.
Sancho, Neto.
I could say that those two looked like that was what he wanted, but remember they came in with Todd's other four sitting on the bench. Todd's other four, not Poch's other four,
I
or
get
not
that.
his other four. Now Todd's saying, "Hang on, I paid a lot of money for them. When are they playing?" You know, so I wouldn't say he's out of his depth. He's done well with what he's got, and he's got more than any of us. That's any squad.
That's what I'm saying. He's like, how can you say that
But
he's got more than
yeah, but
anyone has? I would take a few of their team.
it's the same as my
I
fridge is
wanted
full of
Neto.
food. My fridge is full of food that's past its sell by date. I can't use it. Stuff is old,
Fair enough.
rotten.
I hear that, but
My fridge is
again,
full.
okay. So look at it like this. How many players out of Chelsea's team are doing well this season? You can only name two. In my personal opinion, that's Cole Palmer.
I think Debbie. I think you are being a little bit over critical, and I think
Because
listen,
Bram, when you spend that much money, I demand that from you.
Nicholas Jackson.
Bram, when you spend that much money, that's why I'm going to be critical.
But again, I think the money was wasted. I don't think that money was spent. The money was spent before he got there, after he got there. The money was spent before Poch got there, after Poch. The money, as I was saying, Chelsea and their expenditure, we have to look a little bit different on the expenditure. Do you know Spurs have spent almost $1 billion on players in the last 2 years? Do you know
Yeah,
that?
I know it. I know you.
Uh,
I know that.
you
But
not
you
far.
guys at least look a
You're
better
not far
attacking
off.
unit.
No.
I've seen games where
Way
you look
above
a
us.
better attacking.
But they are way above us in the league table. You've also spent almost close to the amount that we've spent.
Oh, don't get me started on how
Right?
we've wasted money.
So if we talk about smart spenders, we're talking Aston Villa, we're talking Nottingham Forest, we're talking Newcastle. Right? Better teams than United and Spurs, not just on paper, on grass. Right?
I'll agree with that.
In your case, you have run close to winning the Premier League title 4 years in a row, better than what it was before Arteta came there. Your league position endings. We can analyze him and his spending on another day. But
on another day, yeah.
Chelsea is a case of just buying. You know, they just and the money doesn't dry up, but it doesn't mean they're buying quality. So it doesn't necessarily make the manager. You can't even scrutinize the managers, because how does he put all of this into one bowl and come up with a recipe? It's
But he
difficult.
was the one that said, but Bram, like, I know what you say, and I'm not trying to condescend in any way, but
Yeah.
I know what you're saying. But he was the one that said in the beginning, if you're not part of my team, then I'm exiling you. This is what I'm going to deal with. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. But it doesn't mean.
You remember at the beginning of the season?
Yeah, but it doesn't mean what's part of his team is automatically going to bring him a trophy. He's probably going to win the Conference League. He should win the Conference League. If he
I
doesn't
don't think so.
if he doesn't win that, Devy, then I will have my doubts about him. But
I don't think it's gonna.
Wait, Dave. He never had a chance to win the Premier League. Not with how their preseason went. But there was a time where you were like, is this guy's dark horses to join the race? Listen to what I'm saying? To join the race. Not to win, to join the race.
There was that point. I agree with you. There was that point of the season.
I still think they'll finish in no less than 5th place. And that is a feather.
After all that money spent, Bram.
But again, Devy, he didn't spend the money.
He sanctioned it. He wanted the player.
He probably sanctioned 3 out of 4 players, but there's still 44 others. So he must He did. I don't think. You know what? He's the only guy that didn't have time to trim his squad because there were so many. Everybody else could trim the squad. He couldn't. There were so many.
The
It was
gym was full. So,
do you understand what I'm saying? So
uh,
for him to be there, if he doesn't win the, do you know what? If he doesn't win the FA Cup, he's out of the FA Cup. I don't blame him. If he doesn't win the league, he was never going to stand a chance. The Carabao Cup is gone, right? But he was fighting Premier League clubs. Even his misfits squad, his team is better than that's in the Conference League. If he doesn't win that trophy, of all the trophies he's involved in, that one, then I'm sorry, you because even the Chelsea misfits should be capable of winning that trophy. He shouldn't
I'm
even.
telling you, he's not going to win. I'm telling you, Fiorentina is going to win that thing. I'm telling you, Fiorentina is going to win the Conference League.
He's got, and I don't even think getting to the final would sedate the. He has to win it. He's got no choice.
He's not
But
going to win it.
in terms of, you know how bad that Conference League is, no? And I think Crystal Palace would probably win it.
That's the thing. West Ham won it a few years ago, so you're not wrong in saying that. But I'm saying,
no, he's got no, and the fact is that he's literally played a second string team because Nkunku is the top goal scorer in that competition. He's literally played the second string team in every game there. But to come
exactly.
back to previous answer, who would I rate that has had a standout season by them? I'd say Palmer. I'd say Jackson has made massive strides.
Yeah, Caicedo.
I would say, yeah, to an extent. Fofana for me has been a under the radar good player. I think Wesley Fofana has done very well this season.
Mm.
And then I think a lot of them have been sort of 6 out of 10s.
Cole has been shocking, eh?
Enzo went through a purple patch where he was not just scoring goals but playing very well. In fact, I would say between Enzo and Palmer, as obviously Palmer will get all the plaudits for the goals, but those two probably their best players this season.
Yeah, but the thing, like, besides Palmer in an attacking sense, what else have they got? They've got nothing, Bram. And Kunku doesn't want to be there.
Madueke is sort of up and down. One week he plays well, the next week he doesn't. But he's young also. He's got inconsistencies. Jackson,
Exactly.
I think he earned his right to start every game and not Nkunku, to be honest with you. But then Nkunku can lay an argument for the fact that he's goals in Europe. You know,
Yeah, but in the Conference League.
But still, the goal is a goal. He can only score in the games that he's featuring.
What's in front of him?
Yeah.
What's in front of him? Nah, I hear that one. Let's talk the weekend. Manchester United, Everton.
Listen, Everton. Do you know when something is just the right fit? David Moyes is just the right fit for Everton.
Mm. Do you know there's a mad stat I saw today?
Everton's going to win.
That David Moyes has 14 points from his last 6 games. Ruben Amorim, since he's came in, has 14 points from 14 games.
Hmm?
And if you look at Everton's team compared to United's team, it's chalk and cheese. And I'm telling you now, right now, we drew with Everton. Right now at Goodison, I don't want to get Everton. Because of what they got a great result against Palace now the other day. We must go there. I don't want to get them now. We don't have to go there now. I don't want to get them now.
Remember, here's the funny thing, right? They had Carlo Ancelotti as their coach. For Evertonians, because he got them into the Champions League 1 year. It was
Moyes that got them into the Champions League. It was Moyes.
Yeah, I'm talking about Moyes.
Yeah.
Even Ancelotti was compared to him.
Mm,
Do you know? So if you haven't lived in England, those of you that are listening and watching, you won't understand what I'm saying. It won't make sense because you're gonna say,
I
"What's
know
that?"
what you're
No, you
saying.
don't understand. So before you
Mm,
don't understand, to them, irrespective of who Ancelotti is, but you never got us into the Champions League. David Moyes did.
mm.
That is the thinking
Perfect example.
there, right?
Perfect
So
example. If I could reverse it, I don't care what Unai, how many Europa Leagues Emery won. By other clubs, he didn't win it for me. He's a great
yes,
manager. I don't care what he's doing by Villa, but he didn't
correct.
do it for me. If I'm
So
making
so
sense.
for Evertonians, it's like the return of. It's like imagine Ferguson said, "Right, United, I've had
I'm
enough.
coming. I'm coming back.
I'm coming back." And United
Mm,
end 10th.
mm,
It's good enough. Alex
mm,
Ferguson's back. You know, it's the same with me with Poch. Put Poch there, and Spurs end up the same place where Ange is. I'm gonna make every excuse under the sun to defend Pochettino because you know why?
mm.
He took us to a Champions League final. He took us to runners up
Credit
in
in
the
the bank.
Premier League. You know,
Mm.
so it's a
Ah,
perfect fit. I didn't know you need to go to Goodison. It's dangerous for you
that's
because
dangerous.
you
We
know what?
drew with him
You
on the
know what?
Emirates.
You know what those players are gonna do? They're going to grind out. You know what he thrives on? I stopped Arsenal.
Mm. They drew with us already. Like I was sitting there and thinking, like everyone is talking about the game at Anfield,
He,
like
do,
in
you
in
know,
in
you
May.
know who was
I'm
the
thinking to myself,
you know who was
I'm
the
thinking in
demise
my
of
head,
Mourinho at Spurs? You know who started the taking out the nuts and the bolts out of the first tire in Mourinho's before the wheels came off? Him with that three when we were 3-0 up with 10 minutes to go. Moist
yeah, at West
and
Ham.
we drew 3-3. And
Yeah, West Ham Lanzini, the last
Mourinho
goal, no?
never recovered. Spurs
Uh,
never recovered from there. And if Spurs had to win that game, I speak under correction. I gone X amount of points. We were top of the Premier League under Jose. We would have
you were
gone.
top, yeah. Because I
We
remember
would
when you
have
played
gone.
Liverpool in that period where Firmino scored the last
Gone.
goal on the last, you were top at
Yeah,
that point, yeah.
so that win would have put us. Even if we lost to Liverpool, Spurs would have still been top of the Premier League.
Mm,
That's when Liverpool went past us. From there, everybody else went past us.
mm.
So his team was the architect to it started the downward spiral for Jose Mourinho at Spurs. That 3-3 draw that day.
Mm. I remember that. Like
Tough.
I said, I don't want to play them now.
Tough United winning. Tough
Prediction?
United winning. Ah,
Give me a
Everton.
prediction.
Um,
I'm also going Everton.
I'm going
I'm
3-2.
going Everton.
I'm gonna see there's gonna be goals in that game.
I'm going 2-0 Everton because I can't see United scoring. They are so blunt up front. They're missing one-on-ones, kicking balls over
I,
the bar. So.
Everton is poor in defending set pieces. Bruno's they dive into tackles. You can see Bruno scoring with a penalty or free kick Saturday.
Mm. But give me my Beto, man. My Beto with his Benteke celebration. It's calm.
No, I can see that.
Arsenal, West Ham. Again, I allude to the Marino up front.
I agree with them. One again, it's going to be a one goal winner. I
I
can't
also
see
see
them
it.
scoring goals. No, don't be surprised if it's a 3-2 because Potter's still finding his feet with that players. So
Mm.
I can see a 2-1 or a 3-2 win.
I can actually see that happening. Although I would take a 2-0. Nice early goal in the first half. And yeah, around 70th minute,
Where is
the
the game?
second goal. Emirates.
Oh, 2-0, 2-0, 2-0. I thought you're going there.
Nah, we
2-0.
won them 5-2, I think, or something like that. They bet him. Aston Villa, Chelsea.
Draw. I think Wednesday night's going to take a lot out of Aston Villa.
I hear that. I hear that. Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. Scoreline 1-1, 2-2, 3-3.
Um, 1-1. No, 2-2.
I was
Pau
gonna
Torres
go.
is out injured. 2-2. I'm going 2-2.
I was gonna go 1-1. City Liverpool.
3-1
Remember
Liverpool.
City play Madrid tomorrow night, so
3-1 Liverpool.
on the Etihad.
Yeah. 3-1.
Okay. I'm going on hope, belief, and dreams. I'm going to 1 City. Hopefully. I'm just hoping. That's all I got left is hope.
3-1.
But I wanted to ask you before we jump away. It was such an awesome chat. The refereeing. Did you see what Arsenal were handed a fine for today?
No, no, I had very little. Um, I'll be honest with you. It's hard for me to watch other teams before I'd watch everybody. Because I
Mm.
compare everybody to why can't we perform like Wolves performed against Liverpool? Why couldn't we perform like that in the Carabao Cup semi-final?
You know what? No, that's a very
I
fucking
watch
brilliant point because
Bournemouth against everybody else, and I'm like, why can't we do that? Why don't we
I
just
was looking at City against Newcastle and thinking,
um,
why the hell couldn't we peppers Newcastle the way that City did?
and I see on social media people saying is Basuma one of our worst signings ever? He's a talent
Uh, uh,
working on
uh,
this, blah 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 blah. These guys for Ange. Ange's play like this, they play like this.
mm.
This is the right type of squad for Pochettino to take over. And I would
You know
trigger
what it
Kane.
is?
I
You
would
know what it
trigger
is,
Kane
Gav?
62 million release clause and bring him back. But you
You think
leave
Levy's
Dyer
with
there.
that?
You don't bring Dyer back. That's
I
the
was
one
about to
concern.
say now.
You leave
That was
him
I was
right
about to
there.
say.
You
Number
leave him
one,
right
do you
there.
think it's nothing to bring Poch back, but is Levy gonna back him? And like you said, in the sense, Kane back again. Obviously, a few years older and whatever, but will Levy do it?
I hope if Poch comes back, Levy literally says, "What do you want and who do you want?" And I
You've
think
always been, to be fair,
Qatar's
like me, like I'm Oteta out. You've always been Ange out. So is he your next best bet? Like, is that the guy that you really want back at the club?
yes. I do because like he said, I mean he openly said it the other day. I'm not sure if you've seen his interview. He was asked. He was with the U.S. national team. He was in some stadium, and he said, "Yes, I'm gonna go back there. Come what may. Want I've got unfinished business." He swears about the family, and it fits like a glove. And it will always be home. Um, and he needs to win one trophy with that football club, and he's gonna go back. I would take him back right now. I would sack Ange and time to take his stuff and go.
But
And
but under the circumstances, though, Gov,
I don't care if we get half of the players back from injury. I can't see us. I'm telling you now, I can see us going to Anfield and getting a draw. If Poch comes back, we'll get a draw. I don't remember. Poch only lost, I think, once at Anfield. All the games were draws. Um, we never lost you
but
on
that was a younger team, Gov.
but we
Those
never
players,
lost
Son
to
was a
you.
few years.
Yes,
I'm talking
yes.
about right now, your current squad under the current circumstances that you've got. Would you really want to put Poch
Players,
in that circumstances?
yes.
Under the Qataris, yes, by all means.
Yes, I will say if all these players are injured, come back. Yes. With Van der Ven, Romero, yes. He'll get the best out of Basuma.
I hear that. I hear that. But
I'm telling
injuries
you,
are
he
part and
comes back
parcel
and
of the
all the
game.
players are fit and Pochettino comes back. We won't lose at Anfield. We won't lose there. And under Poch, we won at Stamford Bridge. We'll go and win there. I'll be so confident to say, bring your best Arsenal 11 and come to my place.
Yeah, you can't say come to the Emirates because he hasn't won there. But you're
No,
right.
but
I agree with
we,
you.
we lost. We lost. Um, but I think if you take 6 games, I think we
But you're
lost
right in saying that
two or two,
because
something like
like
that.
this is the first time I'm seeing that we're actually starting to win at your place. Under Poch, we haven't won at your place. I
Exactly.
don't remember us. I don't
Never. We
remember
never
us winning.
ever there.
Exactly. That's only now recently that it started.
Yeah, and even when we lost at your place, it was by the odd goal. I remember the first
Mm.
time I ever met you and we did a pod, and we lost. We lost 2-1.
3-1. 3-1.
No, 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 it was the game where he dropped Alderweireld and he played Kevin Wimmer. It was either the 2-1 or it was the 1-1 draw.
Nah, I mean, it
I
was a
and the
3-1, man. It
following
was a
year we lost
3-1.
4.
It was Nuno. The first time was Nuno. It wasn't Poch.
No, 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 under Poch, because remember Vincent Janssen only played for Spurs under Poch.
Ah,
Um,
then you met the other me.
so
Then you met the other
no,
Devon.
no, 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 no. We still spoke about um calamities that he caused whenever he went to the Emirates. He tried stupid things. He dropped Alderweireld the one game. Kevin Wimmer scored their own goal. We lost 2-1. I think Walcott scored the winner. We lost 2-1. Then the next year, remember, we lost 4-2 to you. And in
Ramsey
that
and
game, yes, in that game, he played, he left Son on the bench and he played Nasser Chadley.
mm,
And we won the game. You guys won 4-2 because Dyer scored first. Kane got a
yeah.
pen.
That way
Uh,
when we gave all of that, yeah, I remember that.
yes. So every time he went there, when he fiddled with the team, we lost. But ever he stuck to our base guns, we came away with a draw. But we would beat you
Mm,
at our place.
mm,
Um, yeah, and I think he will know how to get the best out of the players. Um, I would feel that's the end of Mikey Moore and Dave Scarlett because Poch is not keen on. He's not keen on kids. Let's be honest. Yeah, Harry Wings was the
yeah, that's a big.
only
Yeah,
one that
that's
came
a.
through the ranks. He's not keen on academy players because there was very little that came through the door at Spurs. There's
But
at
you got some
Celtic,
good youngsters though. Archie Gray's been looking good.
yeah, but he's a
Played
signing.
out the position.
He's not a sign our youngster. I'm talking about your
Yeah.
academy. Cameron Carter Vickers at Celtic was at
Mm.
Spurs under Poch. He let him
Was
go.
the Spurs, yeah. Mm.
Yeah. So there's a few others. Skip never saw a game at Spurs. He was always out on loan. Wings was
Yeah.
the only one he liked. Um, Carl Walker Peters, first chance Poch got
Mm.
sold him. Dyer was going to be sold, but
Yeah.
somehow he got Poch missed. So in terms of that's the only slip negative thing about Poch. He doesn't trust academy graduates.
Mm. Yeah, but I mean, like, look, you need success now.
Why?
So
Why do you think Austin has been at Spurs for 8 years and never played?
exactly, yeah,
He was a
exactly.
youth team keeper that came to the ranks under Pochettino.
No, no, I feel you.
Because 8 years,
So
count is 8 years. Conte was there for 2, Mourinho was there for 1.5, Nuno was
for
there for
one,
half,
Mourinho was there for.
that adds
Nuno
up to
was there
4,
for.
right?
Uh,
This is Postecoglou's second season. So if you were 8 years, who was the coach the 2 years before that? Pochettino.
exactly. Mm.
That guy never smelled third place
Yeah.
ever. So yeah,
Again, like I'm saying, do you think it's the right time to bring Poch back under the circumstances, though?
100%. 100%. He'll resurrect our season. But can I be controversial? While in the
Go
Carabao,
ahead.
while in the Europa League, I'll bring Jose back. They'll probably win it
He'll
for
win
us.
it for you. He'll win it for you. I don't know why you sacked him a day before the Carabao
We,
Cup and brought in Ryan Mason, though. Because, I mean, rather sack him after he wins it. I don't know. That was like, yo, like, this is Jose, man. Come on.
yeah. But Dave, thank you for the great show, my man.
Yeah, no, I love my brother. Yo, big ups always. When we doing another show again? Are we doing
Uh,
one?
we've got it. We've got it. I think after the week of the international break.
Yeah, there's an international break coming. Fuck, dude, I'm
We
still
can
gonna
just
get more players injured.
do it's a good review. I we good to yeah. Even the viewers can get involved in highlight of the season, things like that, like we did the last season. Yeah, it'll be good. Premier League team of the season
Yeah,
kind of. That'll be good.
yeah, yeah. But love for jumping on, love for awesome stream people. It's Bram the Hotspurs, DVD, and we are out of here. Bless.
All right.
AJ.
I am the one, I am the one. Everybody duck.